Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Will, and I got my co-host over here, the Greeze. Say hello, Greeze.
What's up, everybody? I got my soulmate. I've got my right-hand man. I've got my co-host from another mother, the one and only Swill.
You had to go live by yourself last week, which is also your fault, but let's not point any fingers. We are back in the Nook. We are here to drink. This would be the first drink of whiskey I've had in probably 12 days.
Close to 2 weeks. I will say this much, Will. One of us was going to get COVID at some point.
One of us was going to give the other.
Right.
And we all knew who that would be.
I don't think. Is that because you're in CDC compliance?
I don't know. It's just the greasiest thing ever for you to be the spreader.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I called it the Greasy Cron variant.
You did.
And one of our friends said, are your symptoms your neck turning red and everything smells like Marlboro? That's funny. That's a shout out to Joe B.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that wasn't a thread I was not a part of. Because I don't recognize that joke.
It wasn't even a thread. It was just a direct text.
It was just he just texted you.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need anyone else but Will to hear this, but I'll share it.
All right, people out there, thumbs up, subscribe. We appreciate it. Share it with your friends because we didn't make a thumbnail.
Yeah,
we didn't set that we were going live.
No,
the attendance is real low.
It's fine.
Here's the deal. I've actually yeah, it's a Monday. It's always a Monday.
I know.
I'm gonna say that. You know how people when like, man, when you plan, you're successful.
People say that. That's a legit quote.
You always send me a text that says #planning.
No, Joe B sends that.
Oh, you're right.
Yes,
Joe B's
typically.
Joe B's 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah,
he's already in this thing twice.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of red,
I'm drinking Old Medley 12-year, which if you're watching after this, we just put a video out about today. Actually, it's in that series of I can't believe I've never bought that. Check that out. On
a lot of apple juice on the nose today.
Channel. It's a fun little video. It's a review. It's a series we do where basically we walk in the liquor store, see something that we've seen for years, but have never, pulled the trigger on, as they say. So, yeah.
Do you know how apple juice is sweet and like applesauce? When I smell applesauce, I get like more sour.
I don't like applesauce. I've never been able to stomach it, even as a child. Like, I don't think I ever ate applesauce.
I think I probably ate it. Because I know what it tastes like for sure. The consistency in your mouth, not good. Same thing with cottage cheese. I don't know about this. I might possibly enjoy cottage cheese. I will never know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
It literally looks like a dog chewed up a bunch of chalk and vomited it up.
Yeah. I had a lizard, an iguana at one point.
Yeah, you did.
In my career as a child.
Yeah.
And
what'd you call it?
The Riddler.
I'm sure you did. Yeah. Because everybody laughed at it when they saw it.
No, because he's green like the Riddler. But it ate cottage cheese, and that grossed me out. Like watching this long, bright green lizard just going laying waste to some cottage
Just
cheese.
cottage cheese. Like, would
I
you
mean,
have to
it'd be
clean,
on like a bed of lettuce and stuff too. But it
yeah,
was
but you'd
like,
have to clean that cage like every day.
I mean, well, they poop in the cage too, so yeah, you have to clean it
Just-
often.
Can you
There
imagine
was
what you
lizard
if
crap
you
everywhere.
only ate? Do you know that our boy Patrick, our video guy Patrick,
Can't eat cottage cheese.
oh no, he eats cottage cheese all the time, just
Oh.
straight. He was like, "What'd you have? What'd you have for lunch today, Patrick?" He's like, "Oh man, some celery and cottage cheese." That's how he gets the abs,
It's negative calories.
right?
Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're just gonna. Do you know, like, the whole like if something doesn't make sense to me,
try again.
no.
Oh,
What I do is I write like a note on a piece of paper and I rip it up into 50 pieces and I throw it up in the air and then I say the chances of me understanding what you just said is if this thing lands exactly how it was in perfect order and is not ripped anymore.
I feel a feeling that you got that from your mom. Like she did that for you a lot of times.
I actually got it from this scientist guy.
Bill Nye.
No.
Oh,
his name is Dr. Dalton.
Oh,
handsome.
Brandon, our buddy Brandon, thank you for the super chat on YouTube.
Which, by the way,
says, "Love you guys. Have a great show." And then a very flirty emoji, if I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, no, he's
quite flirty.
Honestly, that emoji with the hearts,
yeah,
feels like basically what that means is he kisses you on the neck. Like when I see that one, well, there's a heart right here.
Yeah,
on the emoji.
Yeah.
And then there's one here, and then there's one here. It's like,
another
I'm going to
here,
start on your forehead. I'm going to give you one on your cheek. And now I'm
going
that's
for the
all
neck.
great. I'm going for the neck. Yeah, because it's like, hey, I'm just saying hey to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Or like you're my child. Then, honey, hey, what's up? And then, whoo, honey, you know what's up right here in the neck.
Oh, and this is terrible. Andrew Patrick says his car broke down on the highway. I need you guys to cheer me up. Well, we're going to talk about iguanas and cottage cheese and lizard poop for a little bit. So I hope that cheers you up a little bit. Hey, it could be worse. You could be living off celery and cottage cheese like our buddy.
Way
Patrick.
more malty.
Way more malty. See, I'm not even getting that at all.
The air, I got more like apple juice, apple sweetness on the nose. Here's the deal. A lot of people will really like this.
Yeah, I think that we still where we landed in that video, people should go check it out. youtube.com/thepodcast. I'm still feel good about where we landed. And
I don't remember where I landed.
Well, that's fine. We also said it was a good gift bottle.
I think so.
Price
for
range,
for
looks,
people,
proof. It's kind of the whole package.
So. Yeah, well, especially if your guy is a whiskey drinker, because I think he would appreciate the age statement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, on a bottle. I think and two. How many people do you know that literally just buy that on the reg? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not many people.
No. Well, I can't believe I never bought that. So we're going to do some more samples tonight. That's on the agenda. So we're going to check that out. Greeze has his 8 times up.
Wait, what, you're supposed to say times?
Yeah, 8 times up.
I thought it was like 8 sup.
No, it's 8 times up. We actually had a conversation about this.
It's 8 sup. It's 8 sup. I'm gonna keep doing this. Doesn't matter. Yeah, cover my eyes. 8 sup.
For people that aren't watching, he's just having like a borderline stroke saying 8 up. And then you say, yep, cover my eyes. It's the most out of context, incredible thing ever.
We've gotten bad at that. We used to be super, like, honestly, I think
we've gotten bad at something.
Well, no. So you've messed up a couple of times, but back in the day, most of the time you're pretty good at it. But honestly, I think YouTube has messed up our storytelling ability.
I'm fully aware. It's what I warned you about when I said going live and using that as the podcast is an idea.
Right.
Maybe not the best, but here we
are.
Know,
I feel pretty good about it. Got us on YouTube. Because when on God's green earth would we fit another hour in for a different show?
Well, that's was part of the problem, though.
Right.
It was part of the problem last
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're doing
go
more.
ahead and thumbs up those. Get those numbers up.
Yeah. Share it with
No
your
more
friends and
rookie
family.
numbers.
Don't tag Dan or Sean, or they won't show up.
There was something I was going to say. We were going to talk about.
Well, we've got these Sim Salzman.
Yeah.
Salzman. I don't know. It depends on where you are in the country.
But
Long Island, or
you sent me something. It was you got a press release today that I thought was pretty interesting. And
well, it might have been like 5 days ago.
It took you a while to forward it.
I don't think that they released. I don't necessarily think it was a big release, but I forgot to forward it to you.
No, it's all good. Jack Daniels and Uncle Nearest kind of started a partnership a little while ago where they're trying to promote especially people in the whiskey industry that are Black or Indigenous people of color, and trying to elevate and bring their stories or help them within the industry. And I think it's called the Nearest and Jack Initiative, advancement initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a couple different categories. They have like a leadership track, they have a distilling track. They also partnered with Motlow State, which is a community college near Jack Daniels. Obviously the Motlow family has that name there, so that's a tie-in with Jack Daniels that has a program for actually distilling. So they're actually doing quite a bit to kind of help the industry, not just good PR, which I mean, it is good PR, but it is cool that the Jack Daniels brand partnered with the up and comer, the Uncle Nearest distillery.
Did you see Fawn in the LinkedIn commercial? The national championship?
No, I missed that.
Wait, I think it was the national championship. No, it was during the NFL playoffs. Yeah, no, she was. It didn't brand Uncle Nearest, and it didn't brand her. I think
she just was a part of it.
Exactly right. I mean, if you're gonna pay somebody regardless to be in your commercial, you could probably pay somebody to be in your commercial that has a pretty substantial following.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's a balance, though. You know what I mean? Because they don't want him to be a superstar because they'll be super expensive. The person that is going to get asked to do it because they have a following doesn't have, they have some skin in the game as far as I need more people to know who I am and what I'm doing. So it's just a thing. But Fawn Weaver in a perfect spot. She's crushing it. She's not only she innovative, she knows how to media hard.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
If there's anybody in the whiskey industry that I know is like full on hustle, like there's nobody hustling harder than her in whiskey.
Yeah,
nobody.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's like, because we've tried. I mean, she agreed to be on our show.
Yeah,
and it's been 9 months and we can't get her.
Right.
Like it just doesn't. And we're even remote. We're Zooming, like whatever. Like, and so she is. I mean, when she's home, she's got 40 people over at her house and they're having a family reunion and it's really fun to watch online. But when she's not, I mean, she's working everywhere, and doing everything. It's amazing. So she's incredible.
They announced, though, the first graduate of their business incubation program. So business incubators are, for in like the tech world, you think of incubators where they get put through the ringer, they get, help in crafting who the startup is. And so it's essentially a business incubator for distilling, and with both Nearest Green Distillery and Jack Daniels Distillery's input and kind of help. And they announced Denord Social Spirits are the first graduate of the incubation program. So the initiative aims to advance the diversity within the American whiskey industry with a business incubation program, leadership acceleration program, and the creation of the Nearest Green School of Distilling. Business incubation program offers Black, Indigenous, people of color, entrepreneurs, mentorship in all areas of distilling business, including access to marketing, branding, expanding distribution networks, and other assets and opportunities of growth. So this is a distillery out of Minnesota, and they have quite a few different product lines. I think they do a gin, a vodka, a whiskey. I think they have an apple liqueur, but I just think it's pretty cool. And the Denord CEO had this quote, says, "Our experience in the business incubation program has been a game changer while providing the foundational elements of strong branding and helping us develop a path for growth." So that's pretty cool. Head distiller and CEO Chris Montana. And it says they have a partnership with Delta Airlines because of this business incubator program. I think it's cool. One, not only that.
Wait. Is it going to be? What? I don't know what would you call it if they flew barrels across the country? What would you call that? Not oceans.
Sky. Mile high barrels, like Mile High whiskey or something.
Oh yeah, I feel like that already exists. That exists somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Mile High whiskey. Yeah, I swear on my life, if Jack incubated in that way, went to that distillery and said, "Here, listen, we're gonna help you out.
Yeah.
Put some barrels on a Delta flight. You will market for them."
I have a feeling more that they're going to have many bottles of liquor on Delta flights, is my guess.
That seems so. Okay. Just like, well, you know what? Wild Turkey, it wasn't even a deal with Southwest.
Yeah.
Southwest just came to them and said, "Please let us have Wild Turkey on all of our flights."
Yeah, I mean, it was the CEO specifically said, "Wild Turkey is going to be our bourbon."
Yeah. It's well known that he's a huge Wild Turkey fan.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. Do you think that there's a PR firm there or somebody that would be able to talk into that story? Yes.
I mean, it's pretty well publicized.
I know, but it would just be like, I don't know. It'd be awesome to talk to somebody that was a part of that. Maybe discussion.
I do think that this incubation program and this way they set this up is pretty cool, because it's one thing if it's like, we're going to celebrate people, but essentially they're helping create a competitor.
Yeah, because they're not doing a contest that they'll send money,
to.
And all right, love y'all, bye.
I also think it's cool because Uncle Nearest, while it has investors and things that have helped get it off the ground, they have a really beautiful property in Tennessee. They're still a newcomer themselves. So the fact that they're having this partnership, it does kind of elevate the story of Nearest Green, while also helping expand the industry, which within whiskey, only of late have even like women been getting into the higher level of being able to be master distillers. You think of even like Jackie.
You've had women personalities, a part of like prominent families within whiskey, but not like
running and kind of advancing their careers within at the high level, at the executive level within whiskey. That's a newer thing even there. So the fact that they're helping grow these smaller companies that may be minority run, I think is pretty cool as well. And instead of it being a contest or something like that, where they can pat themselves on the back and say, "Look, we're celebrating this, we're doing that." It's a business incubator. It's cool. And they also have like the leadership tracks and the also that I don't know. A lot of times when big companies do something for the PR, like you kind of, take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like there's action items here that are pretty cool, that are payoffs that I feel like we can all maybe enjoy. So.
Well, I mean, if you think about the resources that both those distilleries have, I mean, specifically in marketing, both of those are insane, right? And so, if you go to, it doesn't even matter who it is, but if you go to another company, those smaller craft distilleries, they might have just spent all of their money to fill barrels, and they're just praying that they can, live off credit cards for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those people might be brilliant and be amazing, and they might be great for whiskey. We might just not ever know because they don't have the infrastructure to get to the point where, as far as marketing is concerned,
it's tough
to that point.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough for anybody.
Jack and Fawn Weaver combined.
Yeah.
They can get your name out there in 2 seconds.
Here's the requirements for the business incubation program. You must have a brand with at least 2 years in the marketplace. So you can't start a brand to go do this.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you've got to already have a brand.
Yep.
You must be at least 1,000 9-liter cases per year. So you've got to be putting out product. You can't just be, okay, well, I've had a brand for 2 years, but I'm not doing anything with it.
Right.
Must have financial security. So
what does that mean?
Well, I feel like they're not saying we're just going to be an investor and take over your brand. I feel like they're saying to some degree they've got to, when you're looking at a business incubator and stuff, it's not just like whoever, they want to see, okay, there's a business plan here. There is some financial security here. Like as far as the books look sound, there's,
they're not throwing spaghetti at a wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Must be majority BIPOC owned. And that's the Black, Indigenous, people of color.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And then it says must have a distributor or be self-distributing where legal. And the founders/owners must be engaged in the running of the business, not passive owners. Ownership structure must be clearly defined and free of conflicts. So, it's a legit program.
Well, and two, in the fine print, if you look, it says you have to send in $475 for up to 2 bottles.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. So that's a requirement for all the.
That is actually not.
It's a
requirement.
I'm pretty sure it's an requirement. It's an acquirement.
It's an acquirement. That's how you acquire the bottle.
Yeah, it's
sassy.
Yeah, I know.
This is actually pretty funny. To sidebar here before we start getting into some of these things. This is from an Embellish podcast. It says, did Will get fired from his real life job? That's a severance beard, if I've ever seen one. No, this is actually a beard. This is a Greasy Cron variant beard. This is when you end up at home. And I'm actually meant to shave before I came over today. But when you've been at home in quarantine, this is what you get. So
we'll get that sponsor. Keep it on until we get that sponsorship.
I'll do something live. Yeah.
I'm gonna do so many things live.
I bet you are.
Sure am. I'm going to show, I'm going to make 3 specific videos of how to prepare for certain situations.
Adam Shelton on YouTube says, never tell Greeze an initialism. He's just going to make something up. I know. That's why I had to jump in so quickly. Cause I'm like, Greeze is going to offend somebody real fast here if I don't take over.
I thought you were spelling bipolar and you didn't want to say it.
Okay. BIPO.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. I was like, why doesn't anyone? Because you don't like to say the METH word. I just didn't know where we were.
Also, do you think that that's a requirement?
What do you mean?
Well, because I was reading off requirements of the business, and do you think a requirement is that the ownership must be bipolar?
Okay, that's fair.
Must be majority bipolar owned.
Well, I mean,
first of all, if
it could be an incubator for people with mental illness.
Yeah,
that's dude. If there's ever gonna be one.
Yeah,
2022 is going to do it.
I agree. All right. So we finished 2 weeks ago. We didn't finish the ones from Adam Shelton.
Yep. We got just one more, right?
No, 2 more.
We have 2 more. We have 2 more of those.
Then we got some other samples.
We have 6 from Sim Salzman. I'm going to say Salzman. And
then we also have...
We're going to have to go a little light on these. These are... Well, I mean, I'm just reading right now. It's like 133.8, 123.7, 114, 116, 105. There's an 80 proofer. Oh, this is Caribou Crossing.
We have
because he's like, man,
we have a super chat from Conway. He says, great start to the show, sitting in the garage, enjoying my whiskey weekend. That's 3 bottles. Oh yeah, I'm not. I think that's a little bit of payment for some of those bottles that he was supposed to get.
Okay, well,
Match 3 1 year ago.
Here's the deal. I don't remember which bottles he got. So if he could tell me what bottles they are, I will hunt them.
It was definitely a Big Rybowski.
It was.
I mean,
No, he didn't
Checks
necessarily.
out.
No, he didn't. No, heck no. I'm not giving him one of my Rybowskis.
no, that definitely was one of them.
It's not.
Yes, because that was one of the big things that Don brought for people.
All right. Well, if I got more than one, maybe.
If I have one, I'll give it to him.
Do you have an extra one?
No, if I just have an unopened one.
I don't care how wrathy that beard is.
Ooh.
Oh, is this a? Did you pour
yeah,
this?
Yeah, this is blue top, yellow tape blue.
That is
great.
That is caramel cake. That is cake.
Caramel cake
with so
caramel
much
cake.
butter. Like
ooey gooey butter cake.
yes, but with with shivs of caramel in it.
Shivs.
What else am I was sitting there like, you know what? I mean, you don't want to. I didn't want to say like finger blasted with. What? As you grab, why did you grab that knife so aggressively?
Because this is a shiv. Second, don't say I didn't want to say, and then say what you didn't want to say.
Oh, did I actually say that?
Yes.
Shoot. In my head, I workshopped it, and then I diverted.
No, you said I didn't want to say this, but then you did say it.
Oh, so I said the. Okay.
Yes, the thing that you. I almost made it worse.
I didn't mean to say that.
It does smell like caramel cake. Ooey gooey
butter
cake.
It's butter cake with, but then
vanilla cake. Like there's a cake note.
It's funfetti is what it is with cream cheese icing. It's funfetti with cream cheese icing. I would literally.
Perry. Any update on what happened to those samples I gave y'all? Well, there's one that we're supposed to do together, Perry.
No. I got. They're really right here in front of me, like legit.
Yeah, we'll get to them. It takes 6.5 years.
Yeah, it's gonna.
No, one we're supposed to drink together, Perry.
There's old Peasy batch something up here. Perry.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. I will say the nose significantly better than the palate.
I agree, but this has age, finish.
I don't know if it has age.
This feels, this
tastes kind of flat to me.
Flat.
Yeah. After that nose, I was expecting my favorite whiskey. It's not sweet, while the nose would lend you to believe it was going to be sweet.
Dude, this thing hits me in back mid palate like a freaking like ultra high fizz Dr. Pepper or something.
I'm just gonna put this up.
This is cola,
but dadgummit, Whiskey Mutant.
Thank you. I was not off on my Dr. Pepper note.
No, what tastes like Dr. Pepper is that Sagamore rye that we have.
This is cola, 100% back mid palate. This is fabulous.
I'm not a fan.
I like it a lot.
I'm not a fan of it.
There is some good age on this. Are you serious?
I don't think it tastes good. It falls flat really quickly, and it's kind of bitter.
It dries my mouth.
Oh, interesting.
Wilderness Trail
Rye, 106 proof. This is a Mash and Journey pick.
I like it a lot.
I'm honestly, I don't know. Maybe my palate's messed up right now, but because I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks.
This tastes okay. I understand where you might have gotten your bitter note because I'm tasting a lot of age on this, and I don't think there's a lot of age on it.
No, I just think it's bitter to me for some reason.
But I would say that oak to me is a bitter note.
Bitter can be, yeah. Oak can be bitter if it gets tannic, and if you're getting the tannic bitterness out of it instead of the sweeter oak.
The tannic
bitterness.
It's going to be It's going to be more tannic if you get the tannic out of it.
You're not wrong. I'll allow you to make fun of me.
Well, no, I did
today. I just emerged from the house, so
golly, we've essentially called you homeless too with your beard. or
Yeah,
job. Actually,
definitely
it was jobless. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
jobless.
I don't know. The nose was one of the.
Because you can reverse mortgage your house for a while.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know if I'm old enough to do the reverse mortgage, but I can get a couple HELOCs on it.
Oh, dude, there's people that are dead that are voting. You can do whatever you want.
We just got demonetized in perpetuity.
Oh, is there going to be an eye on it?
Yeah, probably.
They're going to put an eye.
So I will say that
I
wilderness
actually
trail.
I delinked my Facebook account with our YouTube account.
That's probably smart.
I mean, it's the smartest thing I've done.
That is not wrong. That is one of the best noses I've ever smelled, and it did not live up to that.
Well, it was because it was. I've never
too
tasted.
bitter.
I've never tasted a polar opposite nose and palate.
Yeah,
And honestly, if I'm gonna say probably my favorite thing about it is because that is complexity to me. I'm getting.
See, no, I feel like complexity is more. I felt like it was very one-dimensional once you tasted it. Like there wasn't a lot going on. It was just kind of bitter. And so to me, I'd say it's complex if I'm like
cola.
Ooh, I'm getting several different things. And I didn't get the cola note. So
I'll revisit it.
I think you're probably right on this one. I think you probably are. There's something that just didn't sit well with me.
Dude, you're like 5 days post-COVID.
Yeah, I didn't lose my taste or smell though.
I mean, you could have lost like 20%.
Well, I lost clearly all the good part because that tasted just bitter. But it smelled great. It smelled really fantastic.
It did smell. I would say I've never tasted a whiskey that was that crazy different from the nose and the palate.
Yes. Yeah, there was nothing.
I'm on the good way
similar.
of that. I'm not saying that's a negative at all. I'm saying that's a positive
for me.
It was
I'm
a negative
not
for
saying
you.
I was right, but it.
What are you doing?
It's the second one.
I know, but don't look at it yet.
I'm not. I'm getting. It's taped, bud. I'm just cutting through the tape. You got to unravel a long way.
No. The blue tape is right there.
I know how to do this.
Oh my gosh, are you going to do this during Matt Madness? Are you serious?
Yeah, I've learned that if you cheat, you can win the whole thing.
Mother. By the way, shout out to Matt Porter. His live stream this past Friday, in case you missed it. And this is a good one to go watch back because he did the draft essentially for Matt Madness.
Yeah.
He went through there and I was the first spin.
Well,
my spin determined if I got the bye essentially.
Oh, right.
Quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the finals.
Yeah.
So the quarterfinals is like basically round 2.
Yeah.
But I had a 33% chance of landing on finals, and I landed on finals. And
I've never seen you so disappointed.
I was so pissed.
I know. I'm happy about it.
I actually talked with Sean Paisley today about it
because
I was so pissed. He was like, "Listen here, you son of a," and because he's Sean.
Yeah,
he's already drunk at 11 and he's hammered.
Right.
And he cusses like so much.
Yeah. Because they're from Michigan.
Right.
They're allowed to do it.
Right. Because I mean, I would cuss too if I lived in Michigan.
JC Bailey said we're going to have to move this show to Rumble or get another YouTube alternate now. Like the podcast.
Dude, I would rumble so hard. I would rumble so hard.
Dead people voting. Here's to the whiskeys. I don't think you to be on Rumble. All right, you want to try this? Try this one.
I do want to try this. What was I saying before? Oh,
it's fine. It was
no, but he did the draft, and it's really well done. Like you can tell he thought this thing through, how to bring.
He learned from all your mistakes last year.
And what I thought was awesome is that he did. Well, doesn't matter. He's literally still ruining it.
Yeah.
Because he literally just threw me to the finals.
No, but instead of he still learned from it. He's like, I'm just gonna put him in one. Like he may mess up the end.
No, but I am
fine.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was pissed is because now I only get to be in 1 week.
I know.
And I'm pissed about that because
what I'm so happy
I want to be in like 6 weeks.
You know what I'm so happy about?
What?
You not being on when I am.
Oh, do you actually think that Porter is not going to send me the link when you're on?
I will resign in protest.
Like resign from what? Like I don't think it's a
The
position.
competition.
Oh, the opportunity,
I will
the
withdraw
platform
from
Matt Porter
competition.
is putting you on.
Yeah.
You're gonna retire from it. What is that? What you
Yeah.
said?
Resign.
Oh, resign. That's worse.
All right, smell it.
By the looks of your beard, you already resigned.
This smells pretty good.
Oh crap! I almost tasted it.
You can taste it. There's no rules here.
Floral, flowers,
Yeah.
ryeness. This could be a rye.
Rhinus.
Uranus.
His favorite planet.
Oh, it's my super. Dude, all they grow there is rye. Go figure.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Did you know that red
Probably
clay
didn't.
is actually the better soil for rye?
That doesn't surprise me. You get a lot of ryegrass in Georgia.
Is
And
there?
I think so.
I will say this.
Maybe some Georgia.
Well, no, Georgia is what you want in the summertime because it looks great.
Yeah.
But then in the fall, when
I really just like saying the word Georgia.
Georgia.
It's
Well, at
great.
least you say that word right.
Well, of course I do. I say most words right.
You say fancy words right. You don't say Tybee Island right.
That is my one.
And
That's my one.
And Talladega.
No, I do say that. I say that as it should be said.
No, it's Talladega. And locals are apparently literally like
they've been saying it longer. I think that they would know.
Those online therapists are here today because of backwoods Alabama.
No,
can we just agree for that?
They're not. They're not involved in that.
Y'all can't even say your dadgum racetrack right.
No, I feel like they say it right and no one else does.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not. All
right, let's move on.
Here's the deal. It might be true, but that's my point. Freaking.
It's pretty good. I don't know what that is.
This is
Maltese.
No,
I don't know what it is.
A lot of rye, if not a rye.
It's a little it's spicy.
I
think my old palate is off though, because and I don't know that it's from being sick, but I had 0 alcohol for like 2 weeks, and that's.
I think he's gonna send us something.
Who? Adam?
Unique. He does that.
Adam?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we already had those two that were already unique.
Right. But if I had to guess, I would say, if it was a standard offering, I would say that this is very close to being a Pikesville rye. So I don't
know. It's too floral for Pikesville. I feel like get floral normally on Pikesville. I don't know what it is. Pretty good.
Okay, floral on the nose.
What would you pay for this? $50. I'd pay $50.
I'd probably go to 70, dude.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Could this be a new riff rye pick?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Adam knows. That's what my guess is going to be, because I know it's not Pikesville. I'm going to say that. Something toasted.
What's got toasted?
Game of Thrones.
That's what I thought. That's a scotch. GOT toasted 110 proof. Clarksville Bourbon Society. What's GOT?
Clarksville Bourbon Society. Is that okay? That's Clarksville, Tennessee.
Adam, no. Well, clearly. I mean, it's a pick.
I grew up in Clarksville, Georgia.
But he's from Clarksville, Tennessee.
I don't care.
Oh, good old times. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So it's good times, but GOT is good old times.
This is a good time.
Yeah. No, this is really good.
This is really good.
So it's probably more than $70 because those are normally like $100. I feel like.
If you told me I had to pay $100 for this, I probably would.
I probably would too.
I would want it for 70, like I said, but I'd probably pay $100.
I'm not into like all the like bizarro barrel finishes that they do, but I mean,
right.
This toasted barrel is something else.
That is really good. That
is good.
And here's the deal too. Like,
you know what's hilarious is that I thought GOT was Game of Thrones also, and I'm like,
right,
this is a scotch because they did those like Johnny Walker Game.
This is not a scotch.
No, it's not.
Dude, every retailer was like, please somebody buy these. And do you know that I thought about it at one point?
This is the least surprising thing you've ever said to me. Yeah. It's true.
I fed him that line. I knew exactly what he was going to say.
Hey, if you're watching this live on YouTube, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, also we do an after party after every live over just for our patrons.
Right.
And so if you want to
Conway's
be a part of that.
Actually, I don't think he's a patron.
No, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, he's a patron.
Well, he was always there.
Well, every once in a while, Patreon
Well, I was going to say Conway is a patron.
Yeah, he is a patron.
And he's the one that
gave us that.
I was just giving him another shout out because it was a very generous. Thank you, Conway. Very generous super chat of $50 for those listening. I'm trying to be a better storyteller.
Oh, got it.
Your beard. I mean,
it's rough.
I don't want it to go away.
It's aggressive. Have you ever seen me in college when I had a beard?
Yes.
I had a boisterous beard.
Yeah.
It
looked
had,
great.
It had bounce to it.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
I don't know.
I kind of like you a little dirty though. I don't like it. I don't think I would like you full on.
You want to keep the neck, is what you're saying.
I always keep the neck.
Like of a goose.
You remember that emoji, with the 3 hearts on it that Brandon Rice threw at us?
Yeah.
That's the neck.
Yeah, he likes the neck beard, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's so itchy.
Why don't they call it a beard?
I'm feeling that's a conversation you and your wife have had. This is
it was actually me and I don't know.
Your cousin,
my pastor.
All right, you want to do some more samples before we go? I brought something for the 15 tonight, so
you did?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you for doing that. Are we so we're doing Sims?
Yeah, we'll do a couple of them.
Okay,
there's so many,
and then
I want to do this one because I'm interested.
We've got 3 from story time too. We could probably do 1 from there.
Yeah,
this
so
time
we'll do 2 and then 1,
and then we'll wrap it up,
and then we'll go to the 15.
Oh,
that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
There's no way we're gonna make it through all these.
No, there's no. We're not getting through all of them.
Well, then let's save the story time for next time.
No, I was saying we do 2 of these and 1 story time, and then we come back to all of them next time.
No, but I want to do a 15 too. Also,
no. I'm saying next we're gonna have to do a part 3. There's no way.
Yeah, right. We're clearly not going through all of these. I'm saying you said we can do 3 more and a 15 still.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'm good.
Yeah, you are.
This is Tumbling Dice.
Okay.
This is.
I have not had this.
Las Vegas WDC. I'm guessing that's it's LVWDC pick. So I'm guessing it's a Las Vegas whiskey drinking club. I bet that's what it stands for.
LVDC.
LVWDC, Las Vegas Whiskey Drinking Club pick. This is 116.28 proof. It's called Man's Ruin, which is an interesting take because Mother's Ruin was I
had no idea what that meant.
Oh, well,
and something in my soul said Will's going to know exactly.
Mother's Ruin was the nickname for gin back in Victorian era because they would say
ruined moms.
Yeah, it would tear families apart because moms would get hooked on gin. So they called it Mother's Ruin. And so
that's why most of the time wives, it's in their nature.
Okay.
Because
all right.
No, because
I don't know where we're going.
No, because maybe their grandmother, you know what I mean? Was a mother that was ruined from gin, and she's like, you need to get away from all alcohol. And she's like, we're not doing alcohol in this house. And then this guy's like, but babe, these people talking about it on YouTube, and I really like YouTube, and so I wanted to go get a bottle, and I wanted to share it, and then I started wanting to collect it because man, this daggone looks pretty with the glass and light shining on it.
So I
feel like this is a real conversation.
Sounds like another conversation you've had with your wife, Neared and why we don't drink alcohol in this house. Clearly.
Oh my gosh.
So this is Tumbling Dice, Man's Ruin, which I'm guessing is a play off of Mother's Ruin. So this is single barrel pick, 116.28 proof.
So they're basically, why did this pick sell out so fast? It essentially says, dudes, this is gonna ruin your family's life.
So this says Embellish Podcast said maybe it's not their nature, it's just necessary a necessary thing to cope with dealing with the dumbass men most of their life. It's fair.
Okay, so is that? But hang on, is he doing one of those things where like, hey, ladies, here I'm going to come to your team on this because he's in a situation where he needs his lady to come to his aid. You know how you do? I do that sometimes. It's called manipulation. It's what it's called. Yeah.
Find a lot about your marriage out today.
Yeah.
All right. So is this the second one we're doing? Did
Sure.
you make that executive
Yeah, the old
decision?
scout.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I put them in order the way they were up there.
Oh, cool.
Which they're not in order. I'm pretty sure he probably ordered them in the proof. He probably wants to do them in proof. Because there's a Caribou Crossing. We've never had one. With the moose on top, it's like Blanton's.
I've had Caribou Crossing before.
I've never had it. No, I'm talking not Malibu rum.
I know what Caribou Crossing is. It's in the old Rock Hill Farms bottle, but with a moose on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually not a moose. It's a caribou, you idiot.
I'm
the caribou brand with the moose on top.
I'm actually pissed that you didn't get that faster. No, was that a joke in my repertoire that I was saying tonight?
You were waiting for?
Not at all.
Not
at all. No, that was legit. That's a legit Greaseism that just happened. I'm just pissed off that you didn't say it right after I said it. It means you're not listening to me.
No, I'm still digesting this tumble dice, not tumbling dice. This is good. I'm guessing it's MGP source stuff.
Oh, a little astringent.
Embellish Pod is
that is the only
tonight.
That is the only issue with that whiskey is it's a little it
creamy,
drinks hot,
but then it flattens out and becomes a little creamy to me.
Well, and I'm having some onslaught.
You're having some onslaught?
acid reflux.
Acid reflux onslaught.
Here's what I'm going to say. This is 116 proof. I've had a Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel that's 135 proof, and it drinks less than this.
Yeah,
at 116. It's just a little hot. But here's the deal.
And people would love that.
I remember it.
Yeah,
100%.
It's really good
because it basically just hit me. But it's very good. This is a very good pick. By the way, you weren't on the Zoom the other night with It's Bourbon Night Junkies and Matt and BS and Bourbon.
And it was a run of show Zoom.
Yeah.
For Whiskey Weekend Batch 4, which I was unable to attend because I had a headache.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst headaches I've ever had.
You always know how to bring me back. Like just when I didn't feel sorry for you.
Actually, I don't think I had the headache that night. I did have a headache though that felt like there was a tiny man in the center of my brain with a
pressing up and pressing down.
No, with a ice pick.
And
he would just go. He'd be like, "This side, bam! This side, bam!"
It was just a single acupuncture
it
pretty
was
much thing.
Stabbing for 18 hours straight.
So it's probably some action potentials going off.
No,
that weren't triggered.
I think it was just the virus
in the proton neutron system.
No, it had nothing to do with my proton neutron system, but there was a moose and a caribou.
There was. No, but we decided on the thing. This is breaking news. We decided on, so we do barn night.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
wait. Time out. Y'all decided on the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless I sign off on it.
You'll like it. It's fun.
We'll see about that. You can't say breaking news on our live broadcast about literally what.
Okay. Ask
you
America.
And I are producing an event.
I don't think you can put polls up.
No, we're not. We're not polling the audience.
But if you polled the audience,
that's not how
9 people wanted to do one thing and one person didn't. Which one do you think it is?
No,
you're saying that the 8 other people. You're saying that 8 other people have 0%.
This is more like the UN Security Council, that everyone can vote. It can be 100-1, but as long as the USA has the veto power, the veto can stand. Yes, that is the analogy I'm using.
Is that real?
Yes. The permanent members of the UN Security Council have veto power.
So pretty much the U.S. runs the UN.
Well, some of the other countries have veto power as well. I think there's like 4 or 5 permanent members.
I can only guess what those are.
But you're more like
They're bigger.
You're more
countries.
like Cuba in this situation. Like you may get a seat every once in a while, and your vote technically counts. But
how dare you talk about Sean that way?
Oh, Sean is like Fiji.
Just
like he's fun to think about.
Like he's over. Like so he's just overpriced.
No,
are we talking about
the concept
country
of,
or water?
No, I'm talking about the country of Fiji. Like,
well, both are overpriced.
The island nation of Fiji is like it's nice to think about, but you're never actually gonna go like there.
Oh, okay. So like Nashville Shores in Nashville.
Yes, but they're not on. They're not in the UN.
Yeah. All
right. This is super chat from Jason Newman. So sipping on the Whiskey Weekend Batch 3 bullet pick. I forgot how amazing it is. Cheers, y'all. March 28th. Can't get here fast enough.
Okay, so it's 4 Roses. I can't remember what mash bill it is, but
I thought it was
it's an E2. For those of y'all that know more than I do, that bullet pick was an E2. E as in egg 2. E2. Apple wanted me to do their new Siri voice.
They did not.
They did.
Okay, so did you pour this Old Scout into your glass? I think I did.
Dude, do you think I could do?
There's no way we're going to get to the 15 if we do another sample.
Do you think I could do cartoons?
No. You are a cartoon, but I don't think you could do that.
Wait. Was that the Old Scout?
Yeah.
I just shot the Old Scout?
Yes. This is 5-year liquor link up pick.
Do that.
114.2 proof.
I literally didn't even smell it. Dude, that tumble dice or whatever.
That was good.
Okay. My dog, Maggie, come here. Oh, girlfriend, show everybody who you are. Okay, so this is Maggie.
Like the Shaggy DA.
Yeah. And she is a Newfoundland and Poodle mix, and
you would have a Newfie Poo.
It's the worst name. It's the worst
It's
name
the most
ever.
appropriate name for you to have.
Maggie, sit.
I'm pretty sure she already was.
No,
her butt was on the ground.
No, she wasn't, dude.
She's just tall.
She's a good girl.
She is just tall.
I don't have much to say about this one.
I like these. I like these 5-year
Here's
picks.
the deal. I don't think we should have this tumble dice. Like
the proof is not that different to make a difference.
But this one just
is much more aggressive.
You know when those things that people say, man, that hits different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That slaps.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
what slaps.
That's what the kids are saying.
The only people I know that say that are adults. So.
I just got into using the word dope, and I think it's on its way out.
I think that was on its way out good 15 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm telling you right now,
I'm telling you right now, some of my dorky friends, saying it.
The mid-20s right now are just fresh out of college, and they're saying dope. Dude, that's dope. Actually, they don't even say that. They literally just say dope.
No, you don't know much.
And let me go ahead and tell you something right here. If you talk about, hey man, you want to go smoke? This is not me saying this. It doesn't mean cigarettes anymore.
That's been that way for 20 years.
That's not been 20 years.
Hey, dum-dum, most people weren't still saying you want to go smoke and talking about cigarettes for the past 20 years.
But
most people,
but all my friends,
most people,
if
they wanted you to smoke a cigarette, they'd say, "You want to go grab a cigarette?"
Oh, you want
something to that? Or you want a cigarette?
No, you want to go. You want to go grab a cig.
Things like
you
that.
Want a cig?
They weren't saying, "Want to go smoke." No wonder when you kept trying to bum the smoke off people, they're like, "Not here, man."
Hey man,
no wonder Greeze has been striking out for his dollar cigarettes he'd been buying.
On him. Wait, which one was that?
You added more of the Old Scout to your glass.
Still good.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's just not hitting.
All right. Do you want to go to the 15 and do that one later?
Yeah, we'll do that one there.
All right. Let's go to the 15.
Let's do this.
Hit the music. Is that what you're
Oh,
supposed to say?
shit. Go. Crap. Cut that. Just do it all again. Say it again.
All right. Let's go to the 15.
Hit the music. Let's do this.
Stupid.
Let's do this as early. Right?
I'm upset.
Dude, you're like, dude, in the Blanton's video, you were perfect Will. Like you were literally the perfect Will.
Because we planned.
We
Produced
planned
it.
and you were also
produced it.
we
The thing that's upset me the most tonight is that you just run up here and say, well, we picked the theme.
oh yeah. I gotta
pick
pick
the theme without you.
it's
Inappropriate is what that was.
it's a bourbon pick. Any bourbon pick. Like single barrel pick. Pretty good.
Nah.
It's cool. We've never done that.
Yes, we have.
No, we have not.
We've done it in a real bar night.
I don't think so.
think we have.
I don't think so.
Kevin! Kevin! Come to my aid! All right.
Your dad go Hasselwander. Historian.
All right, let's return from the 15.
Okay.
Because we got to go do some videos.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back from the 15.
We did not leave.
All right, so
Instead of some say we never left,
I literally understood what you said.
YouTube.com/the podcast.
So this is Copper and Cask, and I'm really hot on these things right now.
Yeah, you are.
These are dope.
Which
You want to go? You want to go grab a smoke after school?
when? All right. So what are you hot for? The Copper or the Cask?
Copper and Cask.
I'm a Cask man.
Is the brand? I'm a Cask man. I'm a Cask man.
I don't care who you are.
I like to drink them. I like to pop them. I like to thieve them. Cause I'm a Cask man. That was probably for only Eric.
Is that the theme song for Dr. Pimple Popper?
No, that is Badass Billy Gunn. He was a WWE wrestler. He lived in my area of Orlando, and he had a big most huge lifted F-150, solid black that I've ever seen as a child. And his license plate was Mr. AZZZZ. And so Billy Gunn, his theme song was I'm an ass man. I'm an ass man. And it's like the lyrics.
I'm glad you didn't do more than 8 seconds.
No,
You have to pay for that.
The lyrics are so ridiculous. It's like, I like to stick them and I'm gonna kick them because I'm an ass man. It's incredible. So
I've never paid attention to
Billy
the
Gunn.
Song Ass Man.
Well, I don't think you've ever heard it because you're not a cool
I'm not
nerd.
a real redneck.
So this
Because
is
that feels super red.
Copper and Cask. This is a single barrel selection. This is by our friends at Red Dog Wine and Spirits.
You never commented on that. I'm slaying it tonight. I'm on fire.
Aged. This is a 6-year-old MGP pick, high rye mash bill.
Oh gosh.
Actually, this isn't high rye. I
No,
have
70.
one that's a high rye. This is 70 corn, but this isn't the
No.
30s.
I thought it was 90. I thought you were talking about. Oh, that would have been. I thought you were talking about the
That's
95.
That's
just
a rye.
That's called a rye. Man.
This is 6-year though. It's the 70% corn, 21% rye. Matt's the one who has Facebook privileges and 9% malted
That's what she
barley.
said.
This is 117.8 proof. This is so they're out of Rumford, Rhode Island. Non-chill filtered, released at barrel proof.
If they lay that
Cask
bottle
Bomb.
sideways,
and stick it straight up your candy ass.
no, it's
The Rock.
it's literally in Rhode Island and then out of Rhode Island. Like the whole bottle can't be in Rhode Island at the same time.
That's not your best joke. So this is Copper and Cask. It's a really pretty bottle.
I'm a Cask man. Big old coppers.
These are like $59 for the bourbon. The ryes are a little bit more expensive. I think they're like $69.
I think I've got I've got a cool Justin over at Cool Springs Wine and Spirits. I got one
Cool
of theirs.
Springs, and I also have a Barrels and Brews.
These are so good.
This one's 6 years. The high rye mash bill is the one with the 35% rye or whatever. I have is only like 4.5 years old, but this at 6 years is solid and really good. Really good price point.
This is so easy on the front.
Yeah.
On the initial taste. Now bear with me.
Yeah.
Then on the palate, it is flavor city.
Yeah.
And then it comes back up to the front of your mouth with ethanol astringency.
Yeah.
That's the only
I don't get ethanol astringency on it.
Wait, all right, take a sip, wait for it to go back, tons of flavor, then it will come back to up under your lips with the astringency. Like it kind of numbed my lips.
I don't get that. I think it's really good.
It is
really good.
I'm going to use the word smooth. That's all I know how to describe it.
Well, you said it was astringent.
No, on the front. That's what I'm saying. When it hits your tongue, you think this thing is going to be nothing.
Right.
You think this thing could be water.
Yeah.
Then there is dryness, flavor punch to the back mid palate for me, which is weird because it's a rye. I would think, well, no, the back mid is right.
It's not a rye.
Well, it's higher rye. Yeah. It's 21% rye. That's a good chunk of that's a good chunk of rye.
Yeah.
It is highish. I would probably put
highish rye.
But then it comes back to the front of my mouth, and I guess maybe I'm feeling it. Maybe I'm feeling it the whole time, and when the flavor blast goes down, that I'm now aware.
Yeah.
Of what's happening.
Yeah. Once that flavor blast goes away, yeah, you're right.
You just never know.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh, daggum, that was there the whole time.
I love a good flavor blast.
Yeah. This is pretty good. Buy bar pass.
You just did that thing. Will is so smart. Will knows what I'm going to say at all times because sometimes when I'm watching Will's face, he will literally start mouthing what I'm saying in real time.
Yeah.
It really upsets me because like you literally know me better than myself.
You're so daggum predictable that I'm like, yeah, here's what he's about to say.
But you never say it. You're literally just like, if you zoom in, if you rewind and you watch Will's lips, he's literally saying the words that I'm saying in real time with his mouth.
It's obnoxious, isn't it?
It is very obnoxious.
Buy bar or pass on this.
This is. I would put this at $100 a bottle.
Patrick's right there.
Oh, hey, does it need to be let in?
Yeah, you put this at $100 a bottle.
I would absolutely pay $100 a bottle for that.
So Greeze is definitely a buy. That's what you call buy two of them based off the pricing. I'm definitely a buy on this. I think it's really good. I think that the stuff they're putting out is really, really good. And this is unfortunate because talking them up, I want them to do well, and I hope they're able to continue to get good sourced whiskey. Hopefully they've got plans of some of their own stuff and they know what they're doing up there as well. But honestly, getting MGP 6 years for $59 right now, that's just a steal. So I'm going to buy up these barrel picks whenever I see them because I like them. And especially our friends at Red Dog, they still have a good amount of these left. So if you're in the area, I'd definitely check that out.
So, and the bummer is that I'm from Nashville. But like I really like the whiskey that's coming out of Nashville Barrel Company, but this is the same exact stuff for half the price.
I know, that's why I'd buy these.
Because
I mean, and that's the thing is that that's why I love this is that the variance among MGP barrels that are out there, you can pay well over $100 for 6 year source whiskey or you can pay $59. And I would stick with these companies that are, the packaging is still great. So it's, I mean, obviously it's like a generic cognac bottle. And it is, I think the design on it's pretty good looking. Like there's nothing off-putting about this. And I think it's worth every penny, if not worth a lot. Well, here's the thing. I think they priced it appropriately.
Right.
People like Copper and Cask, people like Blue Note with the whiskey they're putting out, the sourced whiskey, the single barrel picks, they're pricing them at what should be the market price. And unfortunately, the market is, it's not just like secondary market. It's non-distiller producers that are putting out the same whiskey for double the price that are also raising those levels of prices. So
I think this will do well for them.
I respect
I
them. I respect people like Blue Note that aren't.
Yeah, that might come back to, I mean, both of those
and
companies.
Hopefully they've got a long-term plan. I hope that they have other concepts and things that it's not
they
just
paid a graphic designer to do the logo and like all the stuff on there.
It's pretty.
So I mean, I feel like they're probably going to do this for a minute.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I guess they're not putting out like 10 and 12-year MGP, which was part of the problem with like Belmead and Blonde Brothers.
Well,
that when
5 years they will be.
Will they?
Oh, dude, we're gonna have some. I mean,
I don't know.
If you're an MGP fan,
I don't know.
In 5 or 6 years,
I don't know.
We're gonna be in MGP
I don't
flood
think
heaven.
I don't think it's gonna be a glut of MGP age stocks, because I feel like
what synonym can you use for glut?
I don't know that it's going to be a flood, like you just said, because
it'll be bought up in 2 seconds.
No, you just said flood, and you said it's going to be heaven. I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think what you're going to see is you're going to see companies like Copper and Cask that have bought lots of whiskey, and they may allocate within their own inventory some barrels to get up to that age, but they're still selling these. They're still churning through this whiskey at 4, 5, and 6 years old. You may see some 7, 8 years old, but I don't know that we're going to really get to that level again where almost everyone is putting out 10-year, 12-year MGP sourced whiskey, because
I don't think that at all. I'm saying that it's going to be an increased supply, because I think a lot of these craft distilleries that are sourcing from MGP will need to differentiate themselves. How do you differentiate yourself that you can't immediately assimilate? Is aging your stuff up. So if you've got the capital,
the difference though, if you have the 5 years though, does it matter if you're only dropping a handful of your barrels, because you're still having to make money?
Well, if you have the backing, and if you want to take,
that's
the gamble,
a big if though.
Well, okay, if you can survive, if you can sell enough barrels to survive, and you want to gamble on the fact that in 5 years the whiskey industry will continue to grow, the bourbon industry will continue to grow, and these prices are just going to keep going up, like, who's to say that $120 isn't going to be the norm in 5 years? 5 years is a long time.
Here's 2 thoughts on that. One, it's definitely a gamble that sourced MGP at 10 years being aged in different areas of the country, because, if they're aging their stocks up in Rhode Island, who knows if that turns out like what we've been wanting. But if they're putting away, and let's use Copper and Cask. This isn't that we have insight, this is what they're doing, but let's use them as our example here. If they were to take their stocks and age them up, then you're still missing out on opportunity of sale. So it would have to be the profit on the other side would have to be that much more over the opportunity cost of selling it today. Plus you're having to keep your investors happy, of proving why that's worth it. It would be very hard, if you have the backing, as you're saying, of people just throwing their money at you to keep you afloat for that many years.
Let me ask you this,
that to make someone convinced that it's going to be worth, not just, even if you just, do the straight markup over the few years of what it's been going, that the return on those years is big enough to say, yeah, that was the right move to sit on most of our stock. And if you don't sit on most of your stock, then companies like this are going to maybe keep a little portion of back, but I don't think it's going to be a big enough thing where it's seen very often, because I think if the demand is still there, it's still going to be a barrel here and there, and then people are able to get them really quickly and people flip them, and I think it's just going to be more of the same. That's just my feeling on it.
It's not a bad feeling. I just feel like there's somebody out there that might not even have a brand released yet, that might have just said, you know what, like, I'm going to buy up a ton of MGP barrels and I'm going to age them up to 12 years. And then I'm going to form a brand, and then I'm going to offload them.
Here's why I don't think it'll happen in the next 5 years. The reason we had so much of that 10 to 12 year stock of MGP was because it was a surplus of what MGP had at 5 and 6 years. When they were producing all that stuff, it was stuff that wasn't getting sold.
Right.
Then the bourbon boom took the uptick. So really, and for us to get back to a place like that where it's that common, where it's we're seeing a lot of it for those of us that are still into bourbon at that point, I think you need to see a downturn where companies like the Copper and Cask, or some that will go away and then someone else buys up their assets and offloads it and holds on to it, because
there's
not
more
burning
MGP right now, but like
but
they can't get rid of.
But it's being sold.
They can't get rid of their 5 and 6 year bourbon fast enough.
It's
They've got a ton of stock,
but it is still being sold through.
Oh, 100%.
And that's what I'm saying. The fact that it's still,
but I mean,
going
that's why
to places,
that's
it's
why
being
they
sold.
created their own the Remus line and like all this other stuff.
Well, it's also
because there was a gap there where they were like,
it's also diversifying their portfolio. That if a lot of these craft,
because they are publicly traded,
people go out of business. I mean, and their stock prices took a hit when they over planned for certain things several years ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, I personally think for us to get older age stock of MGP where we're able to really see it, the stuff that's being given to these people right now will have to stop selling.
I'm not necessarily,
and they'll have to sit on it,
right.
And it just naturally happens because brands like this they're not gonna wait.
I have 2 points.
Okay, go for it.
One is we don't see a lot of 10 to 12 year whiskey from MGP now.
Right.
All I was saying is that I feel like in the next 5-6 years we will have more.
No, you did
on the
say
market.
It will be a flood, and you said it will be heaven.
Okay.
So if I'm taking the words you used, the picture you painted was that it is everywhere, and I don't even know that it will be common.
I
don't think it will even be common.
I think for a season,
nope,
we will see a lot of whiskey hit the shelves that is 12-year-old MGP.
I disagree.
And you're not going to know it until a new brand comes out, possibly. You know, if they're established already, then yeah, they'll probably promote it. Hey, we're, 2 months out. I
disagree that we will see a lot of whiskey in the next 4 or 5 years unless there is a big downturn in demand for American bourbon. For American whiskey. I don't think that because I think these brands are going to keep selling through it. They're not going to age up their stocks much more than what they've already got because they've got people that will buy the barrels. And
I'm saying if you got the money to make it to 12 years and have continuation stock after that,
I don't think there are a lot of people that have that kind of money, because that's at this point an all-time high to buy that and make that gamble. You're buying at the wrong time to go to 12 years. Here's how I would do it. It would be really hard sell to your management, to your board, to your investors to say the price of these barrels that we're buying from a broker, directly from MGP, however you're handling it, it's an all-time high. It's really hard to make a case when you can sell them at an all-time high or in over the next 6 months to a year
Mhm.
to say, we're going to sit on this we're going to double its age. We're going to take it from 6, we're going to go to 12. So 6 years, we're going to sit on this. And by the way, I need $20 million to do it.
Mhm.
I just don't see that. And even at that point, because it's at an all-time high, the return on that 6 years isn't going to be
Yeah.
what
Here, I'm not
it's
saying
really
I'm
hard.
not saying how this is done. Here's how I would do this. Okay. Let's just say I had $1 million to myself.
Thank God you do not.
If Sheba goes to the moon, I'll have some capital.
Well,
I
first
go
of all,
and
it'd have to go to
purchase-
the moon twice
I
because you have to
understand.
make up your
I understand.
losses first.
I buy, 100 barrels of something. That'd be like probably, I don't know, $800,000. And then you have $200,000 just to make crap happen. You sit on that, then the next, and you can sell a certain amount of that product and still be aging. You can sell a certain amount of that product to get back to even. Now I've got another $1 million. Now I'm going to do a whole $1 million to the next year. And you kind of just keep going up. And then you start rolling them out 10 to 12 years, whatever you want to do. So you're not, and yes, is the initial investment big? No, but we're not talking about $50 million that you got to have to get into this game. You could do it in a smaller scale.
Well,
as long as you were, as long as you sold enough to grow it the next year, so that if you do hit,
first of all, it's the regulatory environment, the space it takes to house these things. Like,
you don't even have to have the space. You can literally buy it and leave it aging in Kentucky.
And you're renting that space. You have to have capital as well
100%.
there. And if it's in Kentucky, you're paying taxes on it in Kentucky every year.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as a logistical accounting equation. I honestly don't. And that's saying you're breaking even on your barrels. You're not paying staff. You're not paying anyone. You're not paying anything to get past year one.
I'm just saying you don't have to start big. I'm just saying you can do it within your means.
You think that in 12 years, though, if you're selling, okay, so you're saying 50 barrels,
5 or 6 years
is going to hit in 5. Well, to get to 12 years, 6 years plus. So yeah, in 6 years.
Yeah. So I mean, you sell 50 of your barrels. You sell half of it.
Then
year to keep it rolling.
That's still one. That's one company taking that gamble.
Mm-hmm.
When the demand for the whiskey now is there to sell all of it, you're not going to have enough where you're going to be flush with.
No, I get it. I'm just saying I would want to differentiate myself in the arena.
But it's also,
and that is one way to grow it slow with a low cost investment.
The other state it's not that low cost.
No, I'm saying like you don't have to go for it and have $50 million.
So here's the other problem. Because then all of a sudden,
dude, you could do it for $100,000 right now.
No, but here's the other problem with that whole scenario. You get to 6 years and you have 50 barrels of 12 year, but you've been trying to make money and float a company for the other 5 years because you can't keep telling people I'm going to keep breaking even for 6 years and then I'm going to have 50 barrels that hit 12. Like, that's just not going to work. Then you hit a brand crisis problem where all of a sudden you sell 50 barrels and say you do make a decent amount of change, but then you're back at square one again.
No, you're not, because you've reinvested and you've got 100. You got 200 barrels the next year.
No, because you can't just say my business plan is to break even off my whiskey sales for 6 years in an environment that is very volatile.
I think if you start a big company like that and you break
that's
even,
not a big company. If you're saying you're starting with only 100 barrels.
If you're wanting it to be big and you break even for
now
5
that's
years,
a different thing. No,
I'm saying you are going to be. I'm just saying.
Then there's
this is how I would run my whiskey and distillery company. That's how I would do it. If y'all want to know, I already said it. Will does not agree, and it's okay. I said this was how I would run it, and then he encroaches in on my safety space that I learned about in DARE, drug abuse resistance education.
Well, I was only saying is that you said it would be a flood of these barrels and whiskey, and it would be heaven. And I was saying it wouldn't be. And then you gave a business plan of which you're going to convince investors that you're going to try to break even without paying anyone.
I would pay. No, I would pay people. That's part of your
not based off that.
DB. CODB.
Not based off that plan you just laid out. You weren't paying anyone.
Yeah, I was. I said
not
you
a
have
dollar.
$1 million. I said you have $1 million. You buy 800,000. You buy 100 barrels. Let's just say they're $1,000.
You said you're going to spend $800,000 on whiskey,
yeah,
and then you only have $200,000 left over.
Right.
You're not paying anyone at that point.
No, if we're selling half of the barrels year one,
to make, you said to buy more whiskey.
Yes.
Right. So the $200,000 between regulatory costs, taxes, everything, you're not paying anyone in that scenario.
Yeah, but there's no,
really
not many people for me to pay at that point.
You're one, you have
I'm
to
not
have
paying a distiller.
You're not paying yourself.
Right.
So that business will not survive if you're saying I'm going to break even and not pay myself or anyone for 5 years.
I said if I
had dadgummit, I just figured out 6 years in what's wrong with the podcast.
I don't
Patrick just goes,
there's literally 500 people watching right now that agree with me.
There's not 500 people watching. If you could find one of them that will invest in this,
don't tell our podcast listeners that. We have 500
it's
people.
A pretty public number.
Is it? It's not that public.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I'm a buy on this. I love how we went on like a 25-minute tangent. It was fun though. I like that conversation.
It wasn't fun.
I thought it was great.
You got my feeling space.
That's your own personal problem, not mine. You know how many feelings I get doing this show?
I have leaned on your shoulder at least 3 times.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and support us at patreon.com/thepodcast.
Or you know what? Don't support us. You know what? Set it on fire.
You're the worst salesman. That's also why this company will fail.
Podcast. Go to patreon.com/thepodcast and save our company.
Yeah.
We need your help. We need your help. This month we're doing a matching challenge.
Yeah, double your investment.
double your impact this month.
If you are a patron, you get access to the after party.
Conway Reimer is matching every donation.
He's not going to let me finish.
I'm not. I typically don't.
All right, folks. You can rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you listen to the podcast portion. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can give us a thumbs up, and we don't know jack.
Send us $5 in the mail. You haven't been saying that in a while
because we started Patreon.
Well, I know, but like we still have a mailbox. We should post our mailbox.
We don't know jack,
but we'll drink it. I should do a high tone one, but we'll drink it.